Good night, everyone. Tonight I'm here as a public servant and as one who is affected by everything that's going on right now. So I just would like to ask that you would share my life, because I come here as a concerned citizen and also a parent. Now, let me tell you the story. So I'm a youth leader, and I've been a youth leader now for 13 years. I've had my own organization, and while having my own organization, there are certain things that as a leader I have to do. One of the things it is that is important that a leader should know is, before we make any decisions, it is our responsibility to look at all of the possible outcome and every corner. Now, I'm responding to the Prime Minister's address this evening. Now, I remember one time, I think at the time my organization was about 13 years old. My students and I, we were out and we was practicing for an event. While we were practicing for an event, I was disrespected. Outright disrespected in the front of my students by someone that is still in authority today. Now, what I felt in that moment was to defend myself, but not in a rational way. But I couldn't respond to them the way I wanted to respond to them, because like I say, as a leader, we have to look at all of the possible outcomes when we're making decisions. That's our job as leaders, okay? Now, as I was being disrespected in the front of my students, there were so much things I really wanted to say to the person that was disrespecting me. But see, had I answered and had I respond based on my emotions in that moment, it would have cost me my organization. It would have cost my students to look at me differently. It would have caused my students to not trust me, not trust what I say, and the things that I teach them about respecting the law, respecting adults, just respect itself. It would have gone nowhere. As leaders, we are not allowed to respond to anything with emotions. Now, Prime Minister Davis said, and I guess in his own way, he felt disrespected by what Ms. Wilson said. Here's my thing. As a leader, you are not responsible for yourself. You are responsible for thousands of children going to school, thousands of children being educated. Now I understand disrespect, and I understand respect, and I understand exactly how you say you feel. But as a leader, you had to have looked at all of the possible outcomes. Now tomorrow, thousands of students is not going to have a teacher inside the classroom. Okay? Sorry, my phone is ringing. People, please don't call me yet. I'm on live. Please don't call me. Hold on, please. Thousands of students will not be in school tomorrow, and the ones who are in school will not have a teacher. Some things, as a leader, you have to take the ladder now. I don't know if it was about sticking it to Miss Wilson or sticking it to us or making a point I don't know what it was about. But one thing I do know what it was not about, and that was our children. Because you felt disrespected. And listen, sir. I can't tell you how to feel. You understand? I can't tell you how to feel. But I can ask you to be considerate. One thing I like what you said tonight is that you want to speak to us directly. But sir, you were not speaking to us directly. I, for one, have followed protocol after protocol almost 5 years now, and not once have been given an audience with you. The decision you made today caused thousands of students can't go to school. You look at one person offending you, but look at the 1,000 people that are being affected, the thousands of young people that are being affected based on your actions. It is not about Miss Wilson being right or wrong or whatever the situation was. As leaders, we have to look at all of the possible outcomes when we make decisions, especially when we're in charge of people. In your aspect, you are in charge of a whole nation. Now, I could imagine the talking in your ears or making you feel some type of way because of whatever it is that happened yesterday. But sir, our kids is be out of school enough. Teachers, they do deserve that raise. I'm not understanding how a decision could have been made to leave teachers out when there are still teachers who are waiting to be permanent. You have teachers who use their own money to fix their classrooms. They use their own money to bring microwave in the classrooms to hot students' lunch. They use their own money sometimes to get books for students. Teachers use their own money so many times just to make life easier for their students. So I am not understanding, in the first place, teachers being left out. Where was the consideration for that? This is not about what you call demand. It is not about demand. It's all about being considerate. And you are, sir, were not being considerate of those teachers. Now, so from the time you have been in office, there is a lot of good that you have done. I will be fair to you because this is not about picking sides for me. It's about being fair. Okay, you have done a lot of good, your party, but guess what? Before we are a political party, we are people, we are Bahamians, and we deserve the right to be treated with the same respect that you demand. You say you want to speak to us directly, but are you speaking to us directly? Because every time we would have heard something, for the most part, it's coming through secondhand. It's coming through a note that was sent from your office, or it's coming from somewhere, but not directly from you answering the questions and the concerns we have. We have teachers every day sacrificing, holding down more than one classes. And then they are not even asking to be recognized. They are only asking, sir, to be treated fairly. These teachers tomorrow, they are executing their civil rights for a peaceful protest. This is not about ego, sir. This is not about demanding, sir. This is not about disrespect, sir. This is not about making you look any negative way to the public or anybody else, sir. And I really need you to understand that, Minister Davis. I really need you to understand that. This is not about making you look bad. This is not about that. This is about teachers who really make this system what it is today. You have teachers, sir, who do so much, and they don't even ask to be recognized. All they ask, sir, is to be treated fairly. That's all they ask. In my opinion, teachers should have been the first people to get that raise, to get whatever it was that you was promised to them, because on many occasions, like I said before, teachers use their own money from their family, and a lot of those teachers are single parents. They use their own money, sir, to fix their classrooms. You got students coming to school dirty, sick, everything. Teachers use their own money to help our students all the time. This is a day-to-day operation, sir. This ain't about being disrespectful at all, sir, in no way, shape, or form. One thing I always teach my students is to respect the law. That's it. And sir, you're not being fair. As a leader, you should have looked at all of the possible outcomes for you not meeting with Miss Wilson and Mr. Kingsley. And you didn't do that. And if you did that, you know what you said, sir? You know what you said respectfully? You said, I don't care. I don't care about the possible outcome, which I know you know. The possible outcome would have been what is going to happen, God's willing, tomorrow. And that's that thousands of students cannot go to school because there will be no teachers in the classroom. Is that fair to our students? That's who getting hurt, you know. They are the main ones who suffering because of your actions, sir. I get it. Prime Minister Davis, let me tell you something. When that person who is still in authority disrespected me for no reason in the front of my students, there was nothing I wanted to say more than, Lord, I wanted to wring their neck. And I wanted to cuss. But guess what, sir? I'm a leader first. I chose to be a leader. I chose to take up that mantle and be a leader to make a difference in my country for 13 years now. So I couldn't act on my feelings. You know what I did? Let me tell you what I had to do, because again, what a leader does is look at all possible outcomes before making a decision. You know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I politely took my students and I left the situation. My students was angry and they said, Miss Mckenzie, how could you let that woman talk to you like that? And you know what I told my students? I told my students something, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't feel that in that moment. Everything I told my students, I did not feel. I told my students all the thing about you got to walk away, blase. But in that moment, I didn't feel that. But in that moment, I did not forget that I was a leader. And the possible outcome did not worth the amount of lives that I affect every day to this day. While I don't ask for accolades, sir, I recognize what my responsibility was in that moment of being disrespected. And my responsibility was to my students. So your responsibility, your first responsibility is to our students. Because you allow your emotions that you spoke so much about tonight get to you, thousands of students got to stay home. Thousands of students will not be taught tomorrow. Do you think that makes sense, sir? I don't know, and I'm not going to put my mouth in something I don't understand when it comes to politics. But what I do understand is the effects of a leader's decision on his people. And sir, you did not care about the outcome that is going to happen tomorrow when thousands of students will not be in school tomorrow because you, sir, with all due respect, allowed your emotions to get the best of you. And you allowed your emotions and whoever is in your ear making you feel whatever it is you're feeling. And sir, it is not my place to say whether you are right or wrong in terms of your emotions. But when it comes to something that affects thousands of children, sir, you have to take accountability for what is going to happen tomorrow. And I pray to God, sir, that by some way, somehow, there's a resolution to this. Because the thing is, sir, you have teachers who still waiting to be permanent. You have government workers who still waiting to be permanent. Tonight you spoke of government workers who have been working for government 13, 14 years and still ain't permanent. Still ain't permanent and pensionable. You talk about healthcare, sir. Thank you for NHI. But let's say what the truth is. With NHI do minimal healthcare. Now, I am grateful. And I'm not saying I'm not grateful. And I'm not trying to limit or diminish anything that the healthcare system could offer our Bahamian people. But here's my thing. Let's talk the truth. NHI do minimal health care in terms of they do physical and maybe something like a cold or flu that you would have to go to the doctor for. But sir, when it comes to surgery, when it comes to serious matters, they send us to the hospital. And when they send us to the hospital, because of lack to the hospital, a lot of our families don't make it out alive. A lot of our families don't come back home to us. And the people blame the doctors, but it ain't the doctor's fault, sir. It's a broken system. And we had so many leaders promise change, promise the world, and we still ain't get it. But in a way, I can't blame the leaders. I have to blame our people for making the same decisions over and over again. If we would take the time to take away the colorism, there's no red in Bahamian, there's no yellow in Bahamian, there's no green, there's no black. We are just Bahamians. And if we could get one leader to look at us as Bahamians, maybe our country would be better. You talk about the improvements from your government. So look at social services. Look at social services. I have so many ideas that I know would make social services better. I have so much ideas that I know would make national insurance better and more affordable for us. I have so much ideas, sir, that I even try to reach out to you to speak to you about, sir. But that talk, you said you want to talk directly to the people. I'm still waiting on a call back for that. We need real change, Mr. Davis. And you allowing someone to cause you to be emotional in your choice making and affecting so many Bahamian kids now? No, sir, no. That was not the move of a leader. That was not the move of a leader. So, I ask you as a mother to please, let's not make decisions based on our feelings. But let's make decisions based on what is right and what is right for our kids. And what is right for our kids is to be in school. Please acknowledge the hard work of these civil servants. Acknowledge the hard work of these teachers. Teachers go above and beyond. People might say every time you see a teacher, they complaining. If you're in that classroom, close your mouth. If you are not in the classroom on a day-to-day basis with what those teachers have to go through, close your mouth. It is not easy. I'm in that classroom. I know what's going on. I'm not speaking on hearsay. I'm in the classroom. You know how much students come to school without lunch? You know how much students come to school hurt? You know how much students come to school without the tools they need to do their work? I have seen teachers buy cases and cases of books just in case a student come to school without a book, sir. Teachers buy pencil just in case students come to school and they don't have it. So, a leader looks at all the outcome, all of the possible outcomes, and you did not do that. Now tomorrow, exercising their civil rights with civil disobedience, that's okay. And I pray, sir, I really pray, and I'm asking you, sir, let the protest be peaceful, because it's not about posing war, because we are one. At the end of the day, our kids is being affected. It's not about posing war on you or your party, because that's the problem. This is not a party problem. This is not a political problem. This is a people problem. And I'm just asking you, sir, somebody got to take the ladder. You are head of this country. Excuse me, you are the leader of this country. As the leader of this country, like I said, sir, respectfully, you should have looked at all the possible outcomes. And at the end of the day, our students paying for your decision. Thousands of students who go to school will not have teachers in the classroom. Many students got to stay home. Sir, do you know That many students come to school because sometimes that's the only place they eat, sir? Did you think about that? Many students come to school because that's the only time they get a conversation. That's the only place they get any source of humility. That's the only place they are showing compassion. That's the only place they are showing that what they think matters is in that school. Remember Adriel? Remember how it was a proven fact that she joined a bunch of organizations just so she could be able to eat because of a situation what was going on at home? Remember that, sir? Remember that? Some of these children, the only time they eat, sir, is when they're in school. Some of these children, sir, the only time they are showing consideration or compassion is when they're in school by those very same teachers. In my opinion, these teachers should have been among the first people to get a salary increase. You spoke about minimum wage, sir. And yes, you drop it down by 5%, but sir, have you ever went in the food store on a regular person's salary like mine? Have you ever done that? Have you ever tried to pay for groceries on a regular person's salary? Have you done that? Sir, I'm not here to bash you or be disrespectful to you, but as a leader today, you showed very poor decision making. Very poor. Because you are not paying attention to what the outcome is. Because now, our kids are going to suffer, sir. They are going to suffer. And I want my Bahamian people to know, at what point are y'all going to demand proper change? The change y'all looking for is chicken feet. Real change is social services working for the people. Real change is minimum wage, not just being raised when VAT is about to increase. Okay? NIB ain't making no sense. NIB isn't making any sense because I want to know, how is it? And I'm just using an example. I'm not going to try to diminish anybody's income at all, but I just would like to make a point. Okay? If I'm working to a gas station and you are working as a doctor, my 5% that I would give to NIB is not your 5%. My 5% would be way less than your 5%. So if that's the case, why is it, God forbid, I pass and you pass, our children getting the same thing? Straight across the board, it's only 130? Is that fair, sir? Is that fair? Have you looked into that yet, sir? I'm not trying to be all over the place with this live broadcast, but sir, I've been trying to meet with you for almost 5 years now. I have followed all protocols and nothing worked. It's always you're busy or you're not on the island. So this is my only outlook right here. You said you want to talk to us directly, then talk to us directly. You did not make a leader decision, because a leader, sir, looks at all of the possible outcome, like I said. And you did not look at all the possible outcomes when you did what you did. I understand your feelings in the moment, but your feelings in the moment is causing thousands of kids not to be educated tomorrow. You knew if you had canceled that meeting with Miss Wilson and Mr. Kingsley, that chances are this was going to happen, but you didn't think about that. You didn't think about that, sir. You didn't think about our kids. And who could blame you? Maybe your kids in private school, because the private school sector hasn't been affected by this. We are. We are being affected by this. Sir, I ask you and I plead with you, as a leader of this great nation, please find a resolution quick. I'm not demanding, sir. And I apologize, sir, if to you I sound like I'm demanding. I'm frustrated. because I understand. I get it. I am one of the least among them. I am one of them. I get it. You may not get it. You might not understand it, but I do, because I have to live it every day. So I get it. Your decision was about you and not about our kids. It was not about our kids. I don't even understand for the life of me how in any way you could have even decided to give a public increase for public workers and not include the teachers. I'm still trying to understand that. Sir, if you sit one day inside the classroom with those kids, you would see what we go through, sir. We're not trying to be greedy. We're not trying to do too much. We just want justice and fairness. Many students, like I said, sir, many teachers, like I said, sir, don't come on cable TV or our news asking to be recognized for the great work that they do. Because they do it because they care about our kids. I'm in that classroom, sir. I see those kids come in and they're clean. They don't have lunch. They don't have tools. They don't have money. But guess who provided for them? The teachers do. And they ask for nothing in return except a fair salary. That's it. Those teachers work hard. Those public servants work hard. We just ask them to be treated fairly, sir. And I hope that you don't take this live as a disrespect, because it was not meant to be a disrespect. But I have to say my 5 cents as a Bahamian. It's my right and my duty, as well as you may feel it's my duty to vote. The same way you want me to vote you in office, why you don't have the time to speak to me? To speak to the people who need to talk to you, sir. What happened at that time, sir? You say you for the people, be for the people. Forget the political parties. Forget the color. Because before NBC, ABC, PLP, NBC, CIO, and any other party, there are Bahamian people. We should come first. And in a way, I guess you could say we can't blame you, because it's the people what don't demand real change. Because real change is something with God's grace and mercy teachers are trying to do. I am trying to do. Many people like-minded like me are trying to do. That's where the real change is. Social services, for decades we have been getting promised that social services can change. What changed in social services, sir? Nothing. Nothing has changed with social services. Nothing. It's like you giving us a bone and making us crawl to get it. I don't know at what point our Bahamian people can stand up for real leadership. I don't care who it is. I don't even care the color of the parties. I just want real leadership. And real leadership put the needs of the people in the front. And my Bahamian people need to ask for real change. Stop asking for bone. Y'all come on, stop asking for bone, then start blaming the party leaders when y'all get the bone y'all asking for. None of y'all are demanding real change. And then as soon as the party leaders give you what you asked for, which is minimal, you want to come and you want to freak yourself out when you ain't asking for nothing. You want real change? Ask for real change. Those teachers tomorrow, they are fighting for justice and they deserve it. So if you spend one day in that classroom, I promise you, I really believe you would think differently. Because there's a saying, he who feels it knows it. And so teachers feel it every day. They just want to feel appreciated. I don't care how many of you come on this live and say teachers this and teachers that. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all don't be in the classroom. You got parents who abusing their kids. And you know who got to deal with the after effect of their abuse? The teachers. The teachers got to show that child that they are loved, that they are important. And we got to have them practicing that, and saying it over and over and over and over. You know how many Adriels we have inside there? Huh? You know how much Adriels inside the school system? You know how much baby Bellas inside the school system? Huh? We have them every single day. But they get love when they go to school. They get food to eat. You got teachers who put money aside just to give a student that they know always come to school and need lunch money. But see, you wouldn't know that. You know why you wouldn't know that? Because they don't go and record to say, this is what I'm doing for my student. They don't do that. Because it ain't about that. Now, Miss Wilson, in her position, she fighting for us, sir. She fighting for us. I agree. Some of her methods are unethical. But sometimes, sir, in a country like the Bahamas, you have to get unethical. Because for so long we've been looking and fighting for results that we still ain't get. And you're not the only one to blame. So we have to take accountability too. Because we are not demanding real change. No, we're not. We are demanding bones. And what the leaders do, make us crawl to get it. Y'all don't even hand us the bone. Y'all make us crawl to get it. And Bahamian people, we can't blame the leaders because we allow it. Civil disobedience is our constitutional right. Okay? That's our constitutional right. Okay? We are not walking on Bay Street in disrespect because we don't respect authority. We walking on Bay Street because we want what is deserving, sir. We ain't asking for nothing else, sir. Nothing else. And if you would give air to the common people like me, things I believe in my heart may be a whole lot better because people like me demand real change, not the bones. And at some point, my Bahamian people got to ask themselves, what is the change that they are fighting for? What is the change that they want to see? Because the temporary fix, the Band-Aid, or like someone I know always say to me, the microwave fix, it's not healthy for us. So, with all due respect, I am asking you to please, I understand, sir, what you're saying, sir. And I understand that you felt like you was being put in an uncomfortable position. I get that. But sir, as a leader, it is your job to look at every possible outcome before making a decision. Anyone in leadership supposed to do that. When I took up the mantle to be a youth leader, sir, I had to put my feelings and everything else aside. And I had to know that sometimes everybody ain't going to agree with me. And I had to realize that sometimes I will be put in an uncomfortable position. And I had to make up in my mind how I can deal with it. Could you imagine, sir? Imagine someone in your face, in the front of your students, disrespecting me, who I think everybody who know me, know my person. Oh, everybody who know me and my mouth. Everybody who know me and my mouth. But my students was there, sir. And I'm not about to let them down by saying something and giving a temporary fix to stroke my ego. I wasn't about that. I had to remain respectful no matter the situation. And while I was being disrespected in the front of my students, I politely walked away, took my students with me, and told them things I didn't even believe in that minute. I didn't believe none of the things I told my students. You know what I told my students? Oh, sometimes you got to take the ladder. Sometimes you got to walk away. All of that. I didn't believe that because the only thing I wanted to do was tear that person's head off. But I'm a leader, sir. I'm a leader. I had to humble myself. But you know what I did, sir? I went back to that person. And I told that person how I felt. I didn't go back the same day because one thing, the Bible says a calm tongue turns away wrath. And I knew had I answered in that moment, especially with my students there, it was only going to heighten the situation like your actions did. So you know what I did? That following Monday, I went to that school. I went to that principal. And I sat down and I spoke to that principal, and I spoke my mind respectfully to that person. And I let them know how I felt. That's what a leader does. Everything is not about show and tell, sir. People can talk no matter what you do. You do good, people talk, sir. You do bad, people talk, sir. No matter what you do, sir, people can talk. But when you're in a position of leadership, you're going to have to ignore the masses. And you got to make the best decision for the people that you are leading, sir. And that's what I had to do. And that's why I waited. I waited. Now, what you felt, I understand. Hey, that's your feelings. But sir, now look at the outcome. Look at the outcome. I just ask you, please, let's make a speedy, respectful resolution. So I'm not demanding, sir. I am respectfully asking you, sir, to please look at the outcome. Please give Miss Wilson a call, sir. Try, sir, so these children could go to school. We already have too much holidays in the year. We already have too much of that. Our GPA, our average is at a D, sir, for reasons like this. Please, sir. Please. It's not about who's more powerful. It's not about who have the most people on their side. Because right now, you know who those kids have on their side? Nobody. Because the kids cannot go to school tomorrow, and the ones that go to school is not going to have a teacher in the classroom. At the end of the day, those kids are most affected by your decision, sir. I ask, respectfully, sir, that you please come to some sort of agreement, because what those teachers doing and what those civil servants doing, they rightfully deserve. When you talk about change, sir, what about real change in our public health system? Look at the hospital. Did you see the line the other day outside the hospital, sir? Do you know that when people go to the hospital, sir, they have to wait for hours? Do you know that most every time a family member go in the hospital, they don't walk back out, sir? And it's not that the nurses and the doctors don't care. They frustrated too. Because the things they need to care for us, they don't have. But every other day, we seeing the politicians. See, the politicians could carry their family away. They're making that money. They could carry their family away any day of the week. They take their family away to see doctor. Us, average Bahamian, we can't do that. And when you have people working in the government system, sir, and is still working in the government system and not permanent, what health care could they afford, sir? NHI is minimal care, and you know that, sir, respectfully. You know that. You know NHI is minimal care. So when something serious happens, we got to pray that we save up enough money that our family could get proper health care. We have to pray. People who are working in the government system who are not permanent, sir, we are so limited. We are so limited to what we could do for our families. I'm a single parent, been working for government for 13 years now, still trying to get a house, sir. I serve my country, sir, personally and professionally, as a teacher's aide and as a youth leader. I served my country for 13 years, never once regretted it, because I love what I do. And anybody who know me can tell you, I love what I do. I love what I do. And speaking as a former victim of child abuse, sir, teachers are needed in those schools, because it took a teacher to see me when I didn't see myself because of everything I was going through. They are so much more important than what the society give them credit for, sir. You have no idea. Please, sir, please, I beg you to kill it, fix it. I ask, and I'm asking respectfully. Teachers, solidarity forever. Good night.